Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Hyena, and today I'm back with another video. So I've actually got some really big updates for Wrath of Nature. Alright, so first thing is first, as you guys voted for on the Discord server, most of y'all probably already know this, but to recap, I had a poll on my Discord server for Wrath of Nature in regards to the name of the game. So basically, since Wrath of Nature was originally the name for an animal survival game, which this no longer is, and a desert themed one at that, which again, this is, that no longer applies here. I wanted to do a poll to see if there was, a more appropriate name that you guys were interested in, and in fact there was. So this game is now going to be called Into the Jungle. It's not entirely jungle, but okay, no, I'm looking at the map. About 70% of it is jungle. And then if you count the swamp area, arguably more than that. So yeah, Into the Jungle is the name you guys voted for. I love that name as well. I think, because it's a story game. It's an adventure. You're adventuring into the jungle, right? So yeah, I think that fits the game just perfectly. And yeah, I'm very excited to be working on this. And speaking of working on this, I have been doing that quite a bit recently. Not a ton of stuff in Blender, although I do have some things that I'm gonna be probably putting up on the screen right now. I have a lioness and a hyena made. They're a bit stylized because, as I was kind of hinting at in the last video, this game isn't meant to represent real life in any way. It's just, it's just kind of a fantasy world. It's inspired by real life for sure, and by, other movies like Jumanji and some games like Jungle Story and, just other adventure games. And, it's got its inspirations, but it's not particularly, representative of real life. And so I decided to give the game sort of its own art direction. It's kind of a blend of, as one of you guys on the Discord put it, I'm blanking on your name right now, so my apologies. But the way you put it was brilliant. It's a blend of creativity and realism. And yeah, I think, that's definitely what I was going for, so I'm glad it came off that way. But yeah, I absolutely love how it looks so far, and most of you guys do as well, so that's great. Let's see, the map. The map is the main thing that I've been working on. Now, for those of you who are newer around here, a long time ago, way back in the day, I used to do some Planet Zoo content, and I've actually gotten into that once again. Though I haven't made any videos on it, but I've gotten back into playing Planet Zoo, and getting back into that and building habitats for my animals in that game really gave me some ideas for how I'm gonna build the map on Roblox. And a lot of the stuff you can do is more or less similar on Roblox Studio as you can do with habitat designs in Planet Zoo. You can use different terrain types. You can decorate the area with rocks and trees and bushes and all kinds of fun stuff. And I think the advantage on Roblox is you can import basically any asset you want, even if it's not on the toolbox, which already has quite a bit. I wasn't quite satisfied with that. I felt there could be some more jungle foliage, and there isn't much on the toolbox. But again, you can import it. You can just buy a model from Turbo Squid, for example, and then use it in your game. And yeah, I think it definitely adds a lot to the atmosphere. In my case, at least for my game, I think it's an absolute must-have. How are you gonna have a jungle game with no trees, right? Or no good-looking trees? But yeah. And then I also drew the map. It was a quicker sketch, if I'm being honest, but I do like it. I think it's a great basis for how the game is going to be. expect there to be a few more landmarks than what's shown on the sketch of the map, because that was actually intentional that I didn't put every single thing on there. Like, I've said this before, I'll say it a million times more. I want you guys to be surprised, and I don't want to just give away every single detail about the game, because that would, ruin it for you. Especially in the story mode game, right? Like, it's not like an animal survival game where you have to like tell everyone like, oh, what exactly is planned, right? What's all the mechanics? What's all this and that? Like, no, I want this to be surprising. I want it to be like a new experience when you first enter the game, and not something that like, you can just look at the Discord and be like, oh, okay, well, I kind of know everything. Like, no, I don't want that. But yeah, I mean, I have given, a fair amount of information, I feel, while also, balancing it out by keeping some things behind closed doors, let's just say, until the game is ready, and then you guys can find that stuff for yourself. So I think that's gonna just create a much more exciting experience overall for you guys. And yeah. As for things like finding a coder or scripter for the game, I haven't really found one yet because, first reason, I'm very busy with school and stuff. This is my final semester of high school, so I really gotta focus. I've also been doing some art commissions for people. I mean, overall, I've got a Minecraft mod to work on too. So yeah, it's just a ton of projects and priorities in my life. And I guess the other reason is, frankly, the game's not ready for a scripter yet. The game, I would say it's like about 85% planned out right now, like in terms of just the plans. So, it's almost ready in that regard, but I still have a lot of animal models and animations to make. And I'm not trying to complain here. Like, I love doing that. Like, I find that fun. But, what it does mean is it's going to take time, regardless of, how much fun or not much fun I have. And yeah, so that's the reason I haven't found a scripter yet, because frankly the game is just in way too early stages to be doing that. Like, I don't want to, find someone and then just be like, oh, oops, sorry, you don't have to code this anymore because the plans changed, but you do have to code all this. And, I just think that would be very unprofessional for one thing, and just so inconvenient for them, and it would probably cost a lot more money on my end, when you add it all up. So yeah. Let's see. What else do I have to announce? Oh yeah, I've actually changed some of the planned characters. So at first, here I'll attach a screenshot. You guys can read it at your own pace, but I'm gonna go over it real quick verbally. At first, there was the zoologist planned. In this case, though, I think I'm gonna go with a wildlife expert instead. The difference being, this is something of like an outdoorsman, as well as an animal expert, if that makes sense. Because, you know more about all the wildlife around you, not just the animals, but also like the plants, like what's safe to eat, what's not so safe to eat. And they'll have a calling item that they carry around with them, so they can like lure them in, and then the fighter character can like, kill the animal. But yeah, that was a change that I made. Let's see. Alright, the fighter. So at first I was very, very vague about that one's description, but essentially, as far as his inventory or her, because, okay, the characters, you're not going to like morph bodies, like in the 2017 or 2019 Jumanji movies. No. I think what would be better for the game, at least, is at least for the Roblox version, is basically, you would have like a certain inventory of items depending on your character, and basically, you would have their gear as well. Like, maybe you'd have a certain clothing type for the fighter or the wildlife expert. But But yeah, you would still just be your avatar, and then you'd press like 1, 2, 3, whatever to get your gear out. Um, but yeah, anyway, going back to the main point, the fighter will carry a spear, sword, and a bow and arrow around in a in a backpack. So yeah, there's that. I guess that's about it for this video. I feel like, yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to report on now. I know that was quite a bit to unpack, but yeah, so, you know, I guess the main thing to note here is a lot of progress is being made, and, you know, even though it's not technically a game yet, because, you know, it's not out for one thing, and, you know, for another, as I was saying, there's no scripture yet, because frankly I'm not ready for one just yet. I think, you know, regardless, it will, I can't say 100%, but it will 95% be a game, and hopefully, you know, I'm hoping to have something out by the end of the year. I know I've said that in previous years, but in this case, I've actually, you know, started working on it, right? Like, it's not just in the planning phase anymore. And it is something that I feel very, you know, connected to, something that's very unique to me. And yeah, so basically, I am not going to be leaving this plan behind, at least not anytime soon. Or at least not before I have something out for you guys. So yeah, you have a lot to look forward to this coming year. Alright, so that was my Into the Jungle update video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you like the new name. Hope you guys are looking forward to the game. And until the next video, I will see you guys. Alright, peace out, take care, and goodbye.